Well, hey there, YouTube. Some of you may have been wondering, where the hell have I been? Oh, I've been around. I've been around, if you know what I mean. Ew. No, that's not right. So you haven't made a YouTube video in a long time when your wife asks you, hey, honey, are you going to make a YouTube video anytime soon? You haven't made one in a while. That's when you know it's been a long time. It has been. I actually checked back and it's been over 2 weeks. Whew. That's like an eternity on YouTube, don't I know? So what we are looking at right here, something I'm very excited about. This is Michael Gavik, aka Gavko. This is one of his frame locks. And he made it just for me. And he did a little what I call organoform, what Tough Thumbs calls craters, what other people call dimples. There's all kinds of different fun names for it now, which is nice. What does Matt call it? I can't remember. He calls it something else. But I love it. Seriously, I do. It's awesome. Okay, so if you have seen Gavco's videos and Tough Thumb's videos where they're holding this knife, maybe now you get an idea of how big my hands are. Because it goes away in my hands. And I saw a video of Jeff holding his custom Pretium that I did for him, and it looks so huge in his hands. I was like, oh my goodness, you got tiny little hands, because they don't look that big in my hands. But so this is the Michael Gavik frame lock, and you know what, as a knife maker, I gotta say, pretty goddamn nice. So totally jealous, Mike. I know you're watching. I mean, I remember my first folders, and they did not look like this. Shit, some of my current work doesn't look like this. It's really, really impressive, Mike. You did a fantastical job. And Mike said, he was like, Elliot, tell me what you think. Like, be honest. Like, be brutally honest. I'll obviously call you, Mike, and talk to you about some of the teeny tiny minuscule things that I see that you could improve, but they're so like ridiculously small that actually I don't think anybody else would notice them. It's just me, because I do notice things that most people don't. But damn, not only does it look lovely, even if it's not your thing, the contouring on this thing is amazing. I mean, it's sort of Mike's thing, right? Is his functional contoured handles on his fixed blades, and like this is, it's about as close as you can get in a folding knife, right? Without having ridiculously thick slabs of titanium on there, and they're still very thick, by the way. I can't remember what he said he used, but for such a tiny knife, I mean, this is tiny to me, Mike. No offense. It actually does fit well. I think this pocket clip is it's gorgeous. I actually haven't put it in my pocket, and is the pocket clip, and I don't know if I ever will. But not because it's not good enough to carry, because it's actually ridiculously super nice. And I actually like carrying a larger blade. But it's gorgeous. Right, he wasn't joking on his video, right? It is beautifully centered. The detent pressure is fairly fantastical. I mean, they flick open. It almost feels like it's assisted. It's very nice. Lock up on it is nice. I like how it's not super duper ridiculously early. Obviously, there's no blade play in this. I forget what washers he said he used in these. I think he used Nylotron. I can't remember what he used. But it really does. It feels like it's bearing assisted. It's gorgeous. Very functional. Even if it does kind of look like a wiener. I have never been to talk, right? I apparently have clips that look like penises. Whatever. It's a very nice knife. If you have the chance to get one, you should get one. You're not going to be disappointed at all. And seeing this knife, Mike, I think your $500 price range is not out of the question. It's very, very nice, especially for your first knife. You bastard. I mean, I'd show you what some of my first holders look like, but I actually burned them because they're so ugly. Yeah. They did not look like this. And of course, this has, Michael Gavko grinds and sharpness. So it's very sharp. And it's a very useful grind. Nice and high. It's pointy. Very sharp. And actually, I haven't cut myself yet, which is good. But it's only a matter of time. Because it's not a good knife until it's made me bleed. Seriously, I love this thing. And I'm not just saying these things because I like Mike. I'm saying these things because I like knives, and this is a nice knife. Let's compare it to some things since I've got weird shit on my desk. We'll actually put it up against a knife that I actually, before I started making knives, there's a knife I used to carry a lot. I can't remember what it is. It's a Kershaw, a Canadian design Kershaw. And yeah, I used to carry this. Can you believe I used to carry such a tiny ass little knife? 3-finger grip for me. But yeah, this is way better. I believe Michael was using S35VN. This will actually be the first knife I've ever had with S35VN in it, because I'm not a fan of any of the S30 steels, S30 or S35VN. I tried talking about it with people. I really, really did. I was like, no, Mike, come on, don't do that. He's like, what? It's good steel. I have used it many times. It is good. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, for that price that you're paying for that, you could actually get a way nicer steel. Did I just cut my finger? Whew, thank God. But he didn't listen to me, so I got S35. I don't know. Never used it. Never had the desire to use it. It didn't seem like a significant improvement from S30. So, and I have used S30 and not been particularly fond of it. But we'll see. Who am I kidding? I'm never going to cut stuff with this. It's too awesome. I know Mike's like, no, I made it for you to use it, Elliot. Sorry. It is what I do as a knife collector, right? Obviously, I don't need a knife to use, right? When I get a knife from one of my knife maker friends, I'm getting a knife from them because I want a part of them, not because I actually need a knife, right? So as a knife collector, I guess you could say, I'm in it for the art. Look at this beautiful anno work too. I love it. It's handsome. Handsome anodization. I'm just gonna throw that right there for you. Here we go. Like I was saying, when I get a knife, it's solely based on the art of the knife for me. If I want a knife to use, I'll grab something that I've made. because I don't feel bad about beating it up. Because A, I can always make myself something else, or B, I can always fix it. When I get a custom knife, I don't want to be fixing it, so I'm not going to break it. So it's probably not going to be used, but it will get admired and fondled and opened and closed quite a bit, because I'll probably keep it here on the desk for a while and play with it. But I will say this, Mike. How about this? Whenever I'm wearing dress pants, which is but dress-ish attire. I live in California, so, there's not too many things that you actually have to put on dress pants for. Most things you can just do jeans and a collared shirt. That'll work for you. It'll get you into most restaurants around here. So I'll wear it when I go out. How about that? Something nice. It'll be my dress knife. Because it is. Pretty snazzy. Did I mention it's nice and solid? I mean, for being as small as it is, small in comparison here to what I usually carry, it is a very solid feeling, very solid knife. Solid. Love it. Okay. I think I've gushed enough about your knife, Mike. Next order of business was A8. So if you recall from another video I did, I've had this in my shop, and it came to me because Jake is super busy, and the guy who owned it was like, "Hey, Elliot." That's what his email said. "Hey, Elliot." I think it said Mr. Elliot. Some people call me Mr. Elliot. I don't know who that is. I'm just Elliot. He said, "Hey, I'd like you to take a look at this A8." And I was like, "I will gladly take a look at an A8. Jake and I chat. We share things. And I've always wanted to see his work in person. Like, I have yet to actually touch a hoe back until this came in." And he's like, "I had a knife pimper work on it, and they always make the blade black, and they anodize the scales blue." He's like, "But he couldn't make it flip smoother and faster, and I was wondering if you could do something to it." And so I did. Took it apart, checked it out, and he wanted me to put different bearings in it, and actually there was nothing wrong with the bearings at all. When you the way you test, I don't know if you guys are on Instagram and you do follow Todd Begg. I think it's Todd Begg Knives. He has a funny test on there where he has the knife closed, no lock bar bend in it yet, and he puts it up to his lips and blows it out like a harmonica. And I was like, "Damn, that's a good smoothness test." So when you remove the lock bar, I mean, it should swing pretty freely if I can get the lock bar out of the way. And this one did when I put it back together. So it wasn't a bearing issue at all. It was a lock bar pressure issue. And there are two ways to rectify that. One is to bend pressure off the lock bar, and the other one is to actually decrease the amount of material in the lock bar spring notch out. And so if I had bent the lock bar, I would have lost lock contact and actually generated lock rock in the knife. So I didn't want to do that. And so I was like, well, let's go for a little bit of material removal, but I didn't want to remachine. So I just drilled some holes in it. Classy little hole pattern. And it had the desired effect. It flips much smoother, much nicer. It's much easier to unlock now. Everything that I was attempting to achieve was achieved by drilling 5 holes. So that's a beauty. I also recarbonized the lock face while I had it apart, re-lubricated it. I put a different pivot in there as well. It had sort of the standard pivot that Jake does, which is actually a chainring bolt bottom, but like a regular, what is it, Torx head. Oh, look, it's right here. That. So I just happened to have a 1/4 inch chainring bolt sitting around. that was black, so I figured I'd throw it in there. And sometimes when you're trying to deduce the issues involved in a knife and what's not working properly, sometimes you got to take a original pivot pin out because things wear, especially with the steel in this. This is M4, and this M4, you can run M4 very, very hard. And I assume that Jake sends this up to PT Treat. I assume that they're running it at sort of its optimal hardness for a knife blade, which is right around 65 Rockwell C. So it's pretty hard, and that can wear a pivot. So I just wanted to see and make sure that what I was detecting in there movement-wise wasn't some weird deformation within the stop pin. And because it's really something that you can't 100% see with your eyes unless you have a really good set of calipers, and you can sort of caliper the different segments of the stop pin. I chose not to do that. I chose to just put a new stop pin in, and that way I can check and see what was going on. And yeah, there it is. Working well now. One of the only reasons that I said yes to having this knife, I mean, usually I don't work on other people's knives. It's, how do I put this correctly? If the person whose knife it is, like, has a bad attitude, right, it can get you in trouble with that maker. Since I know Jake, like, I know he's not going to have a hissy fit. Nor does he have time to actually be fixing these. He's even more behind than I am. So I've always wanted to also see Jake's work. I've never held it before in my hands and checked it out. So it's good to see. And I understand why people like it. It's a well-constructed knife. Faux show. And this is the 2012 model, so it actually has things about it that Jake has actually changed in the newer version. So this is, you'll never get this one again. The new ones are different. He's changed them. I think one of the things that he did change was actually the depth of that notch. Pretty sure. So this knife is actually for sale. The guy who sent it to me, he was like, "Hey Elliot, how would you feel about selling that knife for me?" And I was like, I've never actually done that before. I see Tough Thumbs do it all the time, but hell, why not? So if you're interested in this, email me. I'll put my email down in the doobly-doo for you. Email me. Don't PM me. Don't put it in the comments. We're big boys and girls here. We use email. Email me, and I will tell you. I think the guy said that they wanted $7 for it. If I had $700, I'd actually buy this. I don't know if I'd keep this blade black, personally. No, I wouldn't change it. I kind of like the black blade. Yeah, if I had 700 extra spare dollars laying around, I wouldn't have an issue buying this. It's kind of small. And I actually do have a knife on order with Jake. Much like I have a knife from Gavko, and I'm getting a knife from Tough Thumbs. Jake is another one of these guys that I talk to on email often. So I was like, "Hey, Jake, buddy, you need to make me a knife." I'm like, "Make whatever you want. I don't care." I'm like, "If you need to do some kind of prototyping or something like that, whatever it is, just do it. I want something from you, something that represents you as a maker." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "You'll be the last custom knife I ever make." And I was like, "Okay, awesome." He's like, "So yeah, I get that to you in about a year." I was like, "I would expect nothing less, man." So one of these days I'll get a hoe back. I don't know. Maybe Lap and I need to make a deal. Maybe this knife needs to stay here. I don't know. So if you're interested in it, you better contact me quick, because I kind of like this. It'd be just a little addition to my own collection. Look at that. You guys want to see what I've been doing? Oh, it's been ridiculous. So, since we last spoke, when we last spoke, I was having water jet debacles again, as usual. So I finally got all the parts back from Waterjet, finally, with all the stuff that's cut on them cut as it was supposed to be, as it was laid out in CAD for them. Easy. All you do is enter it in the goddamn commission. No, I'm sorry. Sorry. I won't dump on you. But I had to make a schedule because it was just getting... Well, I needed to start having better time frames. It's one of the things that we're going to work on specifically from here on out forward is being able to create an actual timetable to tell people, because the Pretiums have just stretched way out, longer than I ever wanted them to take, and so those of you for waiting them for them, I apologize for that. It has not gone anywhere near as I planned it, which some people would say I should have expected that. Maybe I was... No, not maybe. I was definitely overconfident in the smoothness with which things would run. So I underestimated the amount of time involved in all the handwork in them, because it is still fairly substantial. I underestimated the time delays from all the various outside vendor stuff. So that is getting materials, that is having stuff water jetted, that's having logos put on blades. I mean, we have all kinds of drama with everything involved in there, and all of that has pushed things back. And if I really look at it, and I go back and I look at those delays in production because of outside vendor stuff, it has really added months to this whole process, which is really annoying. So that's why we're going to have everything a little bit more in a row, the ducks as they are in a row, before we embark on the next run of knives. So basically what you're looking at is the board. It is Hammurabi's code for this shop right now. It takes precedent on just about everything else, and if I do have extra time, that's when I sneak off and make a custom. So that glare wasn't there. Those are the knives that are on my bench right now. They're actually on the grinder bench there, right in there, right. That blob, those are Pretiums waiting to be ground. Those are going to get ground today, and then I'm probably going to heat treat them today too. So I'm going to be here for a long time. The whole heat treat process from start to finish takes about 7.5, 8 hours, depending upon how on top of it I am in terms of after I take stuff out from temper, how long I let it sit there and chill out. Because sometimes I'll take them out and I'll set them down, and then they'll be cool and ready to go back in, and I'm off doing something like eating lunch or started machining other stuff, and I go, oh crap, that's right, I gotta put those back in. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. That's erroneous data at this point. This is the Blade HQ batch, so it's 30 knives, so it's a lot, and my goal is to have all the parts machined by the end of the week, which I'm definitely going to get to, since I'm going to be here a while with having stuff in heat treat for like 8 hours today, after I've been working on them for several hours today, probably more than several. It's going to be a long day today, but I'll have the CNC running, so I'll probably end up getting the rest of them machined probably today, which is Wednesday. So I'm ahead of schedule. It's pretty good, huh? Because the whole machine runtime on them is... crap, what did I... Well, it calculates on my CAD a lot different than it actually runs. Actual runtime is a lot faster. Because my CAD doesn't calculate well. It calculates like an idiot, actually. Hate my CAD. Stupid. Can't wait to get SolidWorks. SolidWorks is going to be really helpful. But anyway, so those will all be done this week, and then I can actually start fitting all of the Blade HQ batch, and hopefully have the Blade HQ batch done, somewhere near ready to rock and roll somewhere in 2 weeks. That's my goal. My deepest goal is by Friday the 13th have those things gone, done. That's the goal. That doesn't mean that's actually going to happen, but that's what I want to happen, and I'm going to work pretty hard to try and make that happen. Probably what's going to happen also is not this weekend coming up, but next weekend I'm probably going to make the prototype for our second run. The second run is going to be 25 knives only. They're going to be a little more involved than the Pretiums are. We're strongly considering doing carbon fiber inlays, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited to do inlays, utilizing CNC to do them, because whenever I've done inlays in the past, which has been like once, I have to hand mill out the section to be inlaid and then actually shape the inlay parts by hand, which can be a little nerve-wracking, a little tedious, and sometimes, and if you're a perfectionist, if there's a little bit of gap, sometimes you have to remake the entire part. Well, which I've done actually. I get a little gap and I'm like, oh fuck it, gotta make a new one. Yeah, so it'll be nice to have a CNC cut those out and have those be perfect matches for the holes, because I actually have a function in my CAD that does that. It generates a positive and negative of any given CAD, which is cool. So we're going to utilize that, I think. Pretty sure, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to do that. And I want to use silver light and strike carbon fiber because I think it's pretty cool, but I might use something else as well. So I have stuff from Composite Craft that I haven't used yet. One of the things I wanted to use was shredded carbon fiber. I mean, it looks really, really cool. There's a bunch of other makers who have some been using it, and I've just really loved the way it looks. So we might try and put some of that in there as well. But I will make the decisions on that within the next week here. I don't think that for the next round of 25 that there's going to be any kind of customization option for them. One of the things that has made the Pretium process fairly slow is the customizations that I've allowed in them, and so it involves me having to take a knife out of the general production line, if you will, and then have to do something special to it. I mean, so even something like this, something as simple as putting on a clip, a steel flame clip that someone sent me, that still meant that I had to stop what I was doing when I was doing holes for pocket clips. I had to stop what I was doing, get this clip, lay it out, and then drill the appropriate holes. And that's it's kind of a diversionary away from the whole process, which is kind of annoying. And so whenever I have to change a finish on something, I mean, it actually does take more time than I had originally thought. So we probably won't be offering the ability to customize the next runs, but I don't think you're going to want to. I think they're going to be pretty radical. What are you still doing here? Damn it! Knife for it in common finish fitting you? Hate it when that happens. I got a small wheel attachment for my grinder. Pretty excited about it. Pretty epic. There's the Pretium's getting ready. Got custom stuff that I'm doing some work on. This is SM100. This is also SM100. The guy I'm making it for, he goes, "Hey, I just got my first flipper, and I really like flippers now. Can I make my knife a flipper?" I was like, I already cut the blade, but sure, why not? It's only SM100. It's only more expensive than silver. Who's counting though? Yeah, so I'm going to actually turn that into a knife at some point in time here. Make one of my dealers very happy. So yeah, bunch of titanium scales for machining. Bunch of titanium scales that are warped that I'm going to have to straighten, which sucks. But it is what it is. You do what must be done with the material provided. Because obviously I can't just throw away that titanium. It's quite a bit, actually, of titanium. So I'll have to rectify those. Alright, YouTube. There, if you missed me, you just got a 30-minute video. Hope you're all excited. So, seriously, people, when Gavin opens his books for these, you need to make sure you get on it. You will not be disappointed in this knife. It's a very nice knife. And hopefully, eventually here, I know that he actually does have his version of the flipper for this. I know that he has those water jetted couple, at least couple. I've seen the CAD for it. I actually helped him out with his CAD a little bit. So he has a flipper version. I think we moved the stop pin up here, so the flipper comes out right about here. Let me flip it open. It's gonna be cool. I think we're still doing. I think we still did. Did we do thumbs? I can't remember. Crap. But they're gonna be nice. So get your hands on this if you can. Don't even offer to buy this for me because it's not happening. But that I'll probably sell to you. If you're interested in it, let me know. It's rare. I don't think you're ever going to see a black-bladed, blue-handled Hoback ever again. It's an A8, by the way. I don't know if I said that. With M4 steel. All right, YouTube. I think that's about enough. Talk at you later.